8 for him.
Is up in Brisbane, but we're still going to show you the Daily Doubles live from Rosehill here in Sydney and from Sandown in Melbourne. Now, an interesting runner in the first leg in Melbourne, number 1, King Marauding. King Marauding's been to stud, but he was a bit of a dud, so he's back at the racecourse. I believe he's trialling very well, and I think he'll win. 1 King Marauding in this first leg, and in the second leg, the filly, number 4, Barbadian. Up here in Sydney, I like number 6, Nazarich in the first leg, the Lord Mayor's Cup, and in the second leg, race 7, the best bet of the day, number 4, Against Time. Now up in the Sunshine State, my old mate Shane Dye. Here he is.
Well, it's a beautiful day here today for the Doomben 10,000. It's a very hard race to win. With 20 runners, you must stay out of trouble. You've got a long run to the first turn, and I'm sure Bint Masqué will get across and lead. The biggest thing here is not to cover ground. If you get caught wide, you cannot win. You must save ground around the turn because you can get pushed 10 and 12 deep. The biggest thing in the straight is to get a clear run. There's lots of chances. Any horse can win this race. The biggest thing, though, Ian, is to stay out of trouble, and I'll be doing that on Slight Chance.
Good on you, Shane. I know you always will. In tennis, a good night for Australia in the quarterfinals of the Red Clay tournament in Florida. Mark Woodford beat former world number 1 Ivan Lendl in straight.
Thanks very much, Kenny. And King Marauding's tightened, but only just a little bit. He's in from 11-4 to 5-2. Danny Beasley, the boy you saw riding a double up at Rosehill recently, is now with Lee Friedman in Melbourne, and he's riding King Marauding, and he'll ride it well too, I guarantee you that. Let's hope the horse is good enough. Defoe at 16-1 seems fair odds, just tightened a touch. 20-1 Salquita, 10-1 Spondula. Party Dancer getting out a little bit. Sally Wynn rides him, one of the better female jockeys. She rides well, Sally, and she's got a good future in the game. It's at 5-1 Party Dancer. Our Communication is at 14-1. Aquatic Gleam at 11-1. Peg's Gift is also at 11-1. Gold Dash at 20-1. Ark Raj is an 8-1 chance. Eddie Cassar to ride him. Knight's Tale, Stephen Baster, used to be trained up here in Sydney, now down with the Rileys at Caulfield, is at 9-1. Neat Glimpse is a 16-1 chance, and Quavan at 100-1. They're going into the barriers. I think it's probably an opportune time now for us to switch to our caller at Sandown, John Russell. Here he is.
Now trained by Lee Friedman. They're getting set here. Neat Glimpse moving up. And still on the move is Salquita, who has plenty of speed. Our Communications is racing well. Inside runner Peg's Gift, Aquatic Gleam has gone up into 2. Then Our Communications. Next along is King Marauding. He's taken up his position as we welcome viewers to Channel 9 Wide World of Sports for the first leg of the double here in Victoria. On quite a pleasant day here. Defoe about to move in. Now waiting for Knight's Tale to come up, and also Ark Raj, which will be on the outside. Spondula has plenty of speed. King Marauding standing up well. And waiting for Quavan. And Ark Raj is not quite set. He's over on the outside, or will be when he comes in. So they're just about ready. Set for a start in the Hawksburn handicap. Waiting for the light. Set. Stand well. Line is good. They're off now, and King Marauding jumped out pretty well towards the centre over on the outside. Spondula was away quickly, and a Knight's Tale is showing speed, and so also is Ark Raj up in that leading group with Quavan. They were being followed by Neat Glimpse a bit further back. Our Communications getting up into a handy position, followed by Gold Dash, and Peg's Gift is in behind them, followed by Aquatic Gleam. They're across the track as they come up to the 500-metre mark. Our Communications on the inside is headed by Spondula. Deeper on the track is Knight's Tale, and just in behind them King Marauding as they make the home turn. They were followed by Peg's Gift in behind them. Gold Dash a fair way back in the field. Aquatic Gleam. 400 metres left to go. Spondula about a length clear of Our Communications, and King Marauding down the outside running on. They're followed by Neat Glimpse, and back behind them is Gold Dash, but Spondula dashed away coming to the 250 and led about 3 lengths to King Marauding and Our Communications, and they're followed by Gold Dash, but Spondula in no danger, and Spondula will bolt in. Spondula comes down to score a good win. A length and a half King Marauding. Third home is Gold Dash, followed by Aquatic Gleam and Our Communications. Ark Raj in behind them, Salquita. They're followed by Defoe. Knight's Tale behind them, Neat Glimpse, and further back in the field of Peg's Gift, and back behind them towards the tail of the field for Van, and absolute last is Party Dancer.
St Martin.
$7.20 and $2.30. King Marauding $1.60 and Gold Dash $6.30. Now for the latest on the next at Rosehill, here's Kenny Counter. Ken.
Yeah, thanks very much, Bear. Hot favourite here, TAB number 1, Mind Blast. Mind Blast showing $2.10 on the tote for $1 investment, which is odds of about 10 to 9. Enough Time is scratched. 9 to 1 Paris Knights, 11 to 2 Lord Windsor. Amazing Hit at 9 to 1. Nazi Rich, a young improver. I think he can possibly beat the favourite. I'm going to back him. He's at 3 to 1. The bottom two, Gold Lease and Paris Patch, both at 20 to 1. Concerto's Estate was a late scratching this afternoon. Thanks, Bear.
Go on, you can. Thank you. Now in AFL, 3 matches.
John Tapp for race 6 at Rosehill. Tappy.
Good on you, Ken. As you can see, a sparkling day in Sydney town. Beautiful day. This freakish autumn weather continues. The race coming up is the Vinadex Lord Mayor's Cup, and there is the favourite, Mind Blast. He's a lovely bay horse, a 5-year-old trained by Kevin Robinson at Idyllic Berry on the south coast of New South Wales. Ken, he's got his share of weights, but he does seem to have pretty good form alongside most of the others.
Yes, John, he's got a super chance, Mind Blast. It's just whether he runs a strong 2,400 metres. He's definitely the horse to beat, even though I've backed the up-and-comer Nazi Rich. At the moment, Mind Blast is a clear-cut favourite, showing odds of 5 to 4 on the tote. Oh, hold on. Mind Blast is a late scratching at the barrier. We've just got a late flash. There you are. You see him in centre screen. Mind Blast is a late scratching at the barrier. So that'll throw our market completely into confusion with Mind Blast coming out. He was a 5 to 4 favourite. You'll find now that Nazi Rich is pretty short. It's probably a bit silly now going through the prices because there'll be huge changes now that Mind Blast is out, and you'll find that Nazi Rich will be a short-priced favourite. Okay, at the Mind Blast was 5 to 4. Paris Knights was 8 to 1. We'll wait and see what they come into. Paris Knights will be somewhere around about 5 to 1. Lord Windsor will come down to about 3 to 1. Amazing Hit be about a 7 to 1 chance now. Nazi Rich will be around about 7 to 4, 2 to 1, and the bottom two will probably be 10 to 1. They're up there now, so I'll adjust them. Mind Blast, of course, is out. We don't have to worry about him. Number 3, Paris Knights, is into 4 to 1. Number 4 is 11 to 4 now, Lord Windsor, $3.70 on the tote. Number 5, Amazing Hit, is a 13 to 2 chance. Number 6, Nazi Rich, clear-cut favourite now on the tote. Nazi Rich is showing odds of 10 to 9, which is a huge difference. $2.10 return for $1 investment, and the bottom two horses haven't changed significantly. They're just in to 16 to 1. But Nazi Rich, John, is now a short-priced favourite from the Bart Cummings stable. And here's John to call you the race.
Thanks, Kenny. Nazi Rich is a 4-year-old by Nasapoor, who died at the famous Rayora stud in New Zealand only last weekend. At 14 years of age, he suffered a toxemia condition and had to be humanely put down at the Rayora stud. In fact, last Saturday afternoon, Nasapoor, best known as the sire of the champion mare Let's Elope, winner of the Caulfield and Melbourne Cups a couple of years back. This one is no Let's Elope, but he's probably good enough to get away with this at the weights. Well, what about that? I'd just been telling you what a good sort Mind Blast was, and 30 seconds later he was out. By the way, Shane Dye had a nasty spill in Brisbane a short time ago when a horse he was riding crashed through the running rail, but he's okay. He escaped unhurt, actually walked back to the jockey's room unaided, but he has been stood down from the rest of the program. He won't be riding for the rest of the day, but he had a very lucky escape. Now, Paris Knights and Nazi Rich are facing up squarely with Gold Lease, Paris Patch and Amazing Hit, but Lord Windsor is giving plenty of trouble. They had to use every trick in the book to get Lord Windsor into the gates. He's there now, and jockey Glenn Killen is about to get back into the saddle. Lord Windsor resisted most efforts to get him in, but he finally gave up. He walks in, and Glenn Killen is getting back on board, and 6 runners now in the Vinadex Lord Mayor's Cup in brilliant sunshine, and they're set. Paris Knights, the inside runner. Leanne Olsen is riding Gold Lease, barrier 3. Off. And Nasser Rich bobbed out in front at the start. Gold Lease jumped away well, but they've just jumped and crawled in the first 50 metres with nobody wanting to lead. And now it's Paris Patch pulling his way to the front over Lord Windsor. Amazing Hit dropping onto the fence third, and she relaxes immediately. Look at her arching the neck now in third place. Amazing Hit about 3 lengths away. Nasser Rich followed by Paris Knights and dropping out last Gold Lease. To the turn out of the straight, and Paris Patch is a clear-cut leader over Lord Windsor. Amazing Hit is running third on the fence, 3 lengths away Nasser Rich. A bit more than 2 to Paris Knights, and a length and a half away last of the 6 as Gold Lease as they go over the 1800 crossing. Paris Patch speeding up a bit now, led by 2.5 to Lord Windsor, 1.5 to Amazing Hit in third place, about 4 away Nasser Rich, followed by Paris Knights and Gold Lease last of all. Past the mile post and swinging into the back straight, and Paris Patch is allowed more rain and slides away now about 2.5 to Lord Windsor. They've put about 6 lengths on Amazing Hit in third place, 2 to Nasser Rich and 3/4 to Paris Knights taking closer order, and tailing out 3 lengths last is Gold Lease as they head into the back straight. Paris Patch in front at the 1200 mark, led by 2.5 to Lord Windsor, 6 away Amazing Hit, joined by Nasser Rich on the outside. Corey Brown on Nasser Rich, a little bit worried about those leaders getting too far away, and he's starting to improve his ground, followed by Paris Knights and 2.5 to Gold Lease last of all. At the 1,000 metre mark, they're on the top turn in the Lord Mayor's Cup. Paris Patch is the leader, Lord Windsor second, about 3 away Nasser Rich on the outside of Amazing Hit, 2 to Paris Knights and 1.5 to Gold Lease. Still no change in order as they greet the 800 metre mark, and Paris Patch led. Lord Windsor getting closer now. 3 away is Amazing Hit on the inside of Nasser Rich, a bit more than 1 to Paris Knights and 3 to Gold Lease under pressure. 600 out as they near the turn. Lord Windsor poked his head in front. Lord Windsor on the outside takes the lead away from Paris Patch, who calls it a day. Amazing Hit is moving to third. Nasser Rich on the outside as they turn, and then Paris Knights, and 4 lengths away Gold Lease as they straighten, where Lord Windsor has kicked away with a good break, straightening up. He led by 2.5 to Nasser Rich, given a hammering by Corey Brown, running into second place. Paris Knights on the outside. Paris Knights is starting to run on well. Lord Windsor's clear past the 200. Paris Knights looks the danger, if any. Lord Windsor's in front. Paris Knights trying hard to pick him up. He is pulling a little ground off him in the last bit, but Lord Windsor's holding on to that lead. He's going to outplug them, and Lord Windsor wins the Lord Mayor's Cup from Paris Knights and Nasser Rich. 8 lengths away Amazing Hit, followed by Gold Lease, and a long last is Paris Patch.
Yeah, and as we pick up the replay, Lord Windsor just simply outstayed them. Here he goes to the line, and, well, that was the story of the race. Lord Windsor went to the front around the back of the course, and he was just, or coming to the home turn, I should say, and he was just far too good. Paris Knights tried valiantly to run him down, and Nasser Rich was very disappointing in third place. Lord Windsor, if you've backed him, has paid $3.80 for the win and $2 even for the place. Number 3, Paris Knights, will be second, pays $2.10, and there'll be no third dividend because of insufficient runners. That was the story of the Lord Mayor's Cup. We'll take a break and then more on the wide world of sports.
got what you want. Anytime you want. I got what you need. Come on, baby, take a chance on me. I got what you want. Take more diamonds anytime you want. I got what you
6, 4, 3 and 6, the numbers. Lord Windsor, $3.80 and $2 even. Paris Knights, $2.10. No third dividend for Nasser Rich. At Doonben today, top jockey Shane Dye has had a fall, quite a spectacular one, in the 5th race of the day. He was riding Brigadier in the Burnborough Club handicap when he came down quite spectacular fashion. There he goes up and over. You'll notice that Brigadier seems to clip the running rail, and the running rail actually goes flying, as does Shane Dye, and he landed up quite heavily falling there. He's been ruled out for the rest of the day, including the big race, the Doonben 10,000. The extent of his injuries have not yet been determined. Ken Callender is standing by with the latest market for the 10,000. Ken, I wonder what Shane Dye's absence will do to the betting.
Won't make a lot of difference, Bear, because in the 10,000 he was riding Slight Chance, and she's a 30-to-1 chance on the tote, so I think she'll be around about the same price. Here are the prices. Remember, these are Queensland TAB prices. Big Dreams at 20s, Deposition 40, Tiny's Finito, the crowd favourite at 6.5 to 1, Bucks Pride favourite on the tote, 4.5 to 1, Shane Scriven the jockey, 8 All Our Mob, 7.5 to 1, Mick Dittman's Mount Capstead, 16 Carolingian, 12 Flitter, Jimmy Cassidy, 30 Slight Chance the horse we spoke of, 25 Silver Neon, Sublimators are scratching, 30 Unequalled, 20 Archie 11 to 1 Baggio, Blondin is at 50 to 1, Bella Snap at 50 to 1, gee, 8 to 1 Bint Masque. I'd like to be getting some of that. Gee, she'll be hard to beat. 60 Sprightly Jet, 25 Ferragamo, 60 Morden, 80 Double Up, and the last 3 emergencies weren't required. Here's Ian.
And you can thank your word just in from Doomben. Shane Dye's injuries have now been officially described as minor, so that is very good news. In the AFL, 3 matches in progress this afternoon. Collingwood and St Kilda. Collingwood got a big jump on St Kilda here. 8 goals 7 to 2 goals 4. Hawthorn playing Brisbane. And Hawthorn have come back from being behind early, 10 goals 10 to Brisbane's 5 goals 5. Fitzroy playing North Melbourne at half-time. It's North Melbourne in front, 7 goals 8 to Fitzroy's 5 goals 7. More for you shortly, Kenny.
Thank you, Ian. And today
Sure have, Max. It's getting close to post time. They're milling behind the barrier, and here are the prices. Big Dreams is at 20 to 1. Deposition was 40s last time I spoke, into 33 to 1. Tiny's Finito at 7 to 1. Remember, these are Queensland TAB prices. Bucks Pride is at 9 to 2 or 4.5 to 1. All Our Mob is at 9 to 1. Capstad at 7 to 1. Mick Dittman's the rider there. 16 to 1 Carolingian. Flitter, Jimmy Cassidy at 11 to 1. 40 to 1 Slight Chance. 30 to 1 Silver Neon. Down to Sublimate, it's a scratching. Unequalled won the race last year. He's considered a 33 to 1 chance to be able to do the same this year. I reckon that's being a bit conservative anyway. Archie, one of the better horses in Brisbane, is at 20 to 1. Keith Marnie is the jockey. Baggio, Grant Cooksley at 12 to 1 has been quite well supported. Blondin at 40 to 1. Bella Snap, another Sydney sider, at 66 to 1. Bint Masque, 8 to 1 last time I spoke, into 6 to 1. Glenn Boss the jockey. I hope she can get the prize. 60 to 1 Sprightly Jet. 20 to 1 Ferragamo, the New Zealand filly, and a bit of a tip. Morden is at 50 to 1, Dapple Up at 66 to 1, and the final 3 reserves were not required. As I look over at the monitor there's about 4 or 5 still to go in. The field starting to take shape. I reckon the man who can set the scene best for us is our Channel 9 caller up there, Mr. Al Thomas. Here he is.
Sprightly Jet will go quickly near the inside, and you would think they'll probably be the first 3 when they settle, unless something goes wrong at the barrier. Now, All Our Mob has been placed away. Here's Kathy Tremaine. Great rider, this girl. She's been nothing but impressive plus since she's been here in this campaign. Ferragamo is ready. Morden, Deposition, and Bint Masque to come up. And also Big Dreams. Bint Masque to come up. Big Dreams has now been placed away. There goes Morden. Bint Masque. Glenn Boss moves in. The line's complete. Stand by for a start in the 1994 Doomben 10,000. They're about to break. Unequal right up to the gate. Cape Stad is standing well. Light is on. Ready. Starter looks down the line of horses. Should go. Might be waiting for one in the centre. Racing. Not a bad start. Bint Masque began brilliantly from the outside. Bella Snap got out in a big hurry. There goes Sprightly Jet. Dapple Up's not far away, and Cape Stad's going to get in a good spot early. On settling down, Bella Snap 3 deep. Bint Masque in the middle. They led. Sprightly Jet gets the 3rd. Dapple Up is 4th. Archie 5th. All Our Mob came out 6th, and Cape Stad 7th on the inside. Then Carolingian followed by Bucks Pride further back on the field. Morden. Then came Tiny's Finito as they go round the first corner, followed by Ferragamo, Unequalled, and Flitter. Then Slight Chance, Big Dreams, Deposition, Blondin, and there's 2 down. There's 2 down. Baggio is gone, and so is Silver Neon, a sensation. Down the side, 600 to go, and Bella Snap on the inside is just the leader. From Bint Masque, All Our Mob, Sprightly Jet, Archie then Dapple Up on there, followed by Bucks Pride, Morden, Cape Stad on the rail, then Flitter. Slight Chance making ground, and Tiny's Finito a long way back as they turn the corner into the straight. Bella Snap, the leader, joined by Bint Masque. All Our Mob on the outside, then Archie Morden, and Flitter running home well from Bucks Pride. Bint Masque in front past the 200. All Our Mob trying to get to it from Archie and Flitter. All Our Mob and Bint Masque together at 100 to go. All Our Mob and Bint Masque. Flitter is flying on the outside. They hit it. Flitter, I think. I think maybe Flitter on the line has got up to beat All Our Mob and Bint Masqué. Third home, fourth home, Ferragamo, then Archie Keelia, Tiny Finito, Cape Stad, Bucks Pride, Deposition, Unequal, Big Dream, Sprightly Jet. Then came Bella Snap, Carolingian, Morden, Slight Chance, Blondin, Dapple Up, and there's two gone. Baggio and Silver Neon.
Right, let's try and line them up. Now, that's Bint Masqué in the red colours on the inside of All Our Mob. What a run he was. He was 3 wide all the way. He's in the white and pink with the blinkers. Now, here comes Flitter, Jim Cassidy, charging at the two of them. We'll try and line them up. It looks like All Our Mob's just got the better of Bint Masqué. Now, Flitter dives. And as they hit the post, oh boy, it looks like Flitter's arrived in time. We'll have to wait on the judge, but there it looks like Flitter first, All Our Mob second, and Bint Masqué third. We'll flash the official result down the line. In the meantime, a break and then more on the wide world of sports.
And the result of the Doomben 10,000, and Flitter got it on the outside, the fast finishing number 8, Flitter, 8, 5 and 17. The numbers Flitter 10, 40 and 3.55, All Our Mob 3.45 and Bint Masqué $3.15. Incidentally, the jockeys that fell in the big race are up on their feet. Presumably they are going to be okay. Now for the latest on the next at Rose Hill, here's Kenny Callender. Ken.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ian, and I need this favourite to win, son. Here are the prices. Rhythm Review at 10 to 1, Sunshine Henry at 7 to 1, Belle Voyage is a scratching, Against Time is at even money. Pretty short odds, but gee, I think he'll win. 11 to 1 Admiral's Mate, Greaves at 6.5 to 1, 13 to 2, 14 to 1 Knave, Over the Moon at 33 to 1, See You Later and Hall of Fame are both scratched. Skymire is at 20 to 1, Blue Cap is a scratching, Greater is at 25 to 1, Capstein at 50 to 1, Paleocene at 25 to 1, Winona Boy 100, Super Scotch is a scratching, Istalif at 100 to 1, Defendant is a scratching, and Clear Times at the roughie of the day at 330 to 1. Here's Ian.
Well, you can keep your fingers crossed for you. In
Rose Hill. Here is John Tapp.
Good on you, Ken. Race 7 it is, the Hanson Giles series. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards, 1,500 metres. There's a very short price favourite, a horse called Against Time, trained at Newcastle by Paul Perry. His win last Saturday, Ken, was an effortless one, and he looks every bit as well, if not a touch better.
Yes, John, he's clearly the favourite with tote punters. He's at even money on the Giddy Goat. Bookies are just a little bit more generous, about 0.5 point. Rhythm Review is at 10 to 1, Shoeshine Henry at 7 to 1, out to about 7.5 to 1. Belle Voyage is a scratching. Against Time, as I said, is at even money. Admiral's Mate is at 12 to 1 now. Greaves still firming, almost into 9 to 2 now. 14 to 1 Knave, 30 Over the Moon. Down to Skymire is a 20 to 1 chance. Greater is out to 30 to 1. Carpstein at 60. Paleocene at 30. Winona Boy 100. Down to Istalif at 100 to 1, and the roughie Clear Times is at 330 to 1. A double check, Against Time, still showing $2 exactly for the win as I cross to Johnny Tapp.
Thanks, Ken. A brilliant win to the Newcastle mare Flitter, a nicely named daughter of Bluebird, trained by Max Lees and ridden by Jimmy Cassidy. And didn't she produce a tornado finish to get up and beat the unlucky All Our Mob? And Bint Masqué, a great third from a very wide barrier. But what a rough race it was, the Doomben 10,000. And the steward's report will read like the script from Gone with the Wind. And Ray Murray, the chief stipe, he just doesn't tolerate interference in races, and he'll have plenty to say about that one today. Now, the last couple have moved up, and the starter, Billy Dale, about to get onto his rostrum and dispatch the field. Against Time has the number 1 gate and faces in squarely, and they're off. Against Time is one of the first out. Knave and Winona Boy are a shade slow, and so is Istalif. Shoeshine Henry from a wide gate is away quickly. One of the leaders, Admiral's Mate, soon after the start. Greaves is right up there with them. Settling down now is Knave, who's pushing through quickly after that slow start. Skymire going through to join the leaders. Paleocene and Over the Moon are prominent, followed by Greater, Rhythm Review, Clear Times, and then Carpstein and Winona Boy, and Istalif is back at the tail in the run to the first corner. Skymire goes to the front at the 1,000 mark, and turn, led by nearly a length to Shoeshine Henry. Against Time in the box seat on the inside of Knave, and out deep as Admiral's Mate going around that turn, followed by Paliacine and Greater, with Over the Moon trapped out wide at the 800 mark. 2 lengths away, Rhythm Review, followed by Carpstein, Winona Boy and Istaleaf, and tailing out last is Clear Times as they come down the side. 700 out, Sky Maya, the leader over Shoeshine Henry. 3 deep as Greaves, 4 deep as Admiral's Mate. On the fence Against Time, waiting for a run, followed by Greater and Knave. Over the Moon is out deep on the fence, Paliacine, followed by Carpstein, Rhythm Review, and right off the track is Winona Boy as they turn for home. Straightening up and Sky Maya the leader. Shoeshine Henry is about to grab him. Greaves is a length away, followed closely then by Against Time, who has to hook across the heels of the leaders. Against Time is coming after them now with Rhythm Review down the outside. The little grey mare, Rhythm Review wide out, has stormed to the lead from Against Time and Shoeshine Henry, and the little grey mare is going to do it again. Rhythm Review beat Against Time. Third close, Greater wide out or Shoeshine Henry, followed by Knave, Sky Maya, Greaves, Carpstein, Istaleaf, Paliacine, Admiral's Mate, and then Over the Moon and Winona Boy, and last Clear Times.
Yeah, Rhythm Review was too good. Against Time pulled tremendously hard today for Larry Olsen. I think if you're on him, you thought you're in a little bit of trouble a long way from home. But when he got clear, he didn't shirk his task and he went to the line well. But Rhythm Review had momentum up by then, got the drop on him. And if you've backed TAB number 1, she's going to pay $9 the win, $2.10 the place. Number 4 will be second, will pay $1.50. And I think you'll find that Greater may have arrived in time to snare third placing. TAB number 13, if he has, he'll pay $6.50. That was the second leg in Sydney. We'll be back shortly with more on the wide world of sports.
Against Time $1.50 and Greater $6.50. We've got time to have a look at the AFL scores. The game's in progress at the moment. Collingwood and St Kilda. Collingwood well in front, 11 goals 9 to 4 goals 6. We have Hawthorn playing Brisbane. The Hawks in front 14-12 to Brisbane 7 goals 5. And the third game today is Fitzroy and North Melbourne. Pretty close one. North Melbourne just in front, 11 goals 9 to Fitzroy's 10 goals 11. OK, let's go out to Rosehill with Ken Callender. We've just started a Save the Ken Callender Fund.
I hope you've got plenty of contributors, Ian. That's all I can say. Here's the second leg prices in Melbourne. Makeup Lady at 13 to 2 or 6.5 to 1. I think they'll be throwing rotten eggs out here soon. Sweet Truce at 9 to 1. Swayora at 6 to 1. Barbadian, promising 3-year-old filly. I shouldn't tell you, but I've had $1 or $2 on her. She's at 5 to 1. Bridget's Mirror at 11 to 4. Naranto is a scratching. Racing Ruler at 10 to 1. Wurragaleen at 9 to 1. Go Kath, nice name for a horse, at 9 to 1. Street Party is a scratching. 16 to 1 Epic Tone. Danny Beasley's riding hit. Taking over at 50 to 1 Fabian Alessi. And the bottom one, Hot Sensation, is a roughie at 80 to 1. Okay, as we pick them up at Sandown, there doesn't look like there's been too much action yet, although we're nearly on post time, and you'll find they get them in pretty quickly these days. Sandown on the outskirts of Melbourne, down at Springvale, 1,400 metres. It's a nice flat track, Sandown, and even though barriers are always an advantage, most horses will get their chance from this barrier. As we said, the favourite on the tote is TAB number 5, Bridget's Mirror. And if you're looking for Bridget's Mirror in the run, she carries orange with a green band and a green cap. The other horse I told you about, Barbadian, carries orange with green spots and a black cap. So they're fairly similar. Time to join John Russell. Here he is.
Ready to go. Racing Ruler rears. Thank you, Nick. Second last on the card. The Winnett handicap for the fillies and mares. They're all set. They're off to a good starter. Go Kath, one of the first to show out towards the outside with Makeup Lady. Beginning well, Sweet Truce in the centre, Racing Ruler. And out fast towards the inside is Wurragaleen, being followed closely by Barbadian on the inside of Swayora. Bridget's Mirror third last, settling, followed by Epic Toner. And taking over as last of all. Down the hill they travel, just over 1,000 to go. Sweet Truce takes the lead by a length and a half in advance of Makeup Lady on the outside of Go Kath, followed by Wurragaleen. Then came Racing Ruler and Bridget's Mirror getting through along the inside. Just behind them, Hot Sensation, followed by Swayora. Barbadian third last on the outside of Epic Toner, and taking over his last of all. 800 metres out, Sweet Truce the leader by length in advance here of Make-Up Lady. Third, Warrigaleen half a length away. Go Cath there, followed by Racing Ruler. Bridget's Mirror on the inside, getting a nice runner. There, followed by Swayora, a bit further back, Hot Sensation, followed by Epic Tone, Barbadian, and taking over. They're rounding the home turn, 500 metres left to go, and Sweet Truce is the leader by length for Make-Up Lady. Go Cath over on the inside, Warrigaleen just in behind them, Bridget's Mirror, and they're followed down the outside by Racing Ruler as they come to the 300. Warrigaleen has got the run through on the inside, but Bridget's Mirror coming through in the centre has taken over as they run to the 200. Kick clear. Swayora finishing fast down the outside, followed by Warrigaleen, and back behind them Racing Ruler.